Right now, the microscopic photoreceptor cells lining the back of your retinas are discharging rapid electrical pulses over 100 times every single second, just to stitch together the illusion of smooth, steady illumination in the room around you. Your conscious mind perceives a calm, stable workspace, but your deeper nervous system is silently navigating a rapid-fire stroboscope. Inside your skull, specialized networks of neurons are burning through cellular fuel at an astonishing rate, buffering an aggressive, chopped wave of invisible flickering photons before that information ever enters your conscious awareness. That heavy, leaden exhaustion dragging behind your eyes by mid-afternoon is not a personal failure of willpower or focus. It is the sheer biological fatigue of an optical shock absorber pushed to its mechanical limit. You are about to uncover the exact neurological machinery behind this hidden process, a phenomenon known as temporal neural smoothing, and how modern artificial light silently hijacks your autonomic nervous system, keeping your body on edge without your permission. Think of your visual system not as a passive glass window, but as a high-speed biological processing engine. When you step outside into natural sunlight, your eyes receive an uninterrupted, silky flow of continuous photons. The sun does not pulse, it does not flicker on and off. Natural light is completely analog, like a steady stream of water flowing smoothly from a mountain spring. Modern indoor lighting, however, is an entirely different biological reality. Almost every fluorescent tube, standard light-emitting diode, and backlit computer display is running on alternating electrical currents, or pulse-width modulation. They turn completely off and completely on, repeating that cycle anywhere from 100 to several thousand times each second. Here is the astonishing paradox of human vision. Your conscious perception has a built-in speed limit, often called the critical flicker fusion threshold. If a light flashes faster than roughly 50 or 60 times a second, your conscious brain can no longer distinguish the individual dark intervals. To you, it looks like a solid, glowing beam. It looks completely still, but your retina does not lie to itself. Deep within the layered tissue of your eye, specialized cells called retinal ganglion cells react to every single burst of light and every single microgap of darkness. Even when your conscious mind sees unbroken brightness, your optic nerve is firing high-frequency volleys of action potentials directly into the brainstem and visual cortex. Imagine trying to drive a car down a road covered in tiny, sharp speed bumps placed 3 inches apart. If you drive fast enough, the vehicle's frame might appear to glide flat from a distance, but the shock absorbers, ball joints, and suspension springs underneath are rattling violently, absorbing thousands of tiny impacts every minute. Your primary visual cortex is that suspension system. It works relentlessly to smooth out those electrical bumps so you do not perceive a dizzying, stuttering world. Back in 1989, a pioneering researcher named Dr. Arnold Wilkins published a landmark investigation examining workers in standard office environments. He tracked individuals exposed to traditional fluorescent lights pulsing at 100 times per second, compared to systems operating on high-frequency circuitry. His data revealed something extraordinary. Workers under the lower-frequency flickering lights suffered from significantly higher rates of eye strain and more than double the incidence of chronic headaches, even though not a single person in the study could consciously see the lights flickering. Their conscious minds were oblivious, but their visual pathways were taking an absolute beating. While we are examining this exact neural buffer mechanism, take a quick moment to drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel. Sharing how your own eyes feel after hours under artificial lights helps signal that this specific biological topic matters, and it directly supports our work as we continue decoding the hidden mechanisms running inside your body every day. Now, consider what happens to the tiny muscles supporting your eyes during this invisible barrage. 6 extraocular muscles control the exact alignment of each eyeball, while the microscopic ciliary muscle wraps around your internal lens, constantly tightening and relaxing to keep your world in focus. Under natural, continuous sunlight, these muscles find a stable resting tone, but under chopped, pulsing artificial light, the brain receives micro-interruptions in edge detection and spatial contrast. Every time the light dips into a micro-fraction of darkness, the sharpness of the text on your screen or the document on your desk subtly degrades for a millisecond. Your visual system interprets this momentary drop in clarity as a loss of focus. What happens next is purely automatic. Your ciliary muscle twitches, it micro-adjusts, then it adjusts back. This process, known as microfluctuation of accommodation, happens thousands of times an hour. Your eye muscles are essentially performing an intense, involuntary interval workout while you sit completely motionless in an office chair. Have you ever wondered why your neck and forehead feel physically tight after 4 hours of simply staring at a desk? You are not looking at steady illumination. You are looking at thousands of rapid-fire lightning bolts stitched into a biological lie. This brings us to the most startling revelation of all, what this invisible flicker is doing to your deeper autonomic survival pathways. Your eyes do not just send information to the visual cortex for sight. A separate, ancient pathway branches off straight from the retina and travels directly into subcortical structures like the superior colliculus, the pretectal area, and the suprachiasmatic nucleus. These regions control your primitive reflexes, your pupil dilation, and your survival alarms. In nature, a rapid, repetitive shift in environmental light indicates one of two things. Something is moving quickly across your field of view, or you are running through a shadowed environment under physical threat. Your primitive brain treats rapid changes in luminance as potential movement. When your retina sends continuous, subthreshold flicker signals into these deep brain centers, your hypothalamus interprets the incoming sensory turbulence as an unstable, unpredictable environment. It does not ring an alarm bell you can hear. Instead, it quietly turns up the gain on your sympathetic nervous system. Your adrenal glands release tiny, sustained trickles of cortisol. Your heart rate variability subtly narrows. Your breathing becomes slightly shallower. You enter a state of low-grade, persistent physiological vigilance, a micro fight or flight state that hums in the background all day long. In 1998, environmental psychologists Ricard Kuhler and Thorbjorn Leike conducted rigorous laboratory experiments measuring the direct physiological impacts of invisible light flicker on human subjects. They demonstrated that subconscious flicker significantly altered central nervous system arousal and caused measurable shifts in subjective stress and physiological strain. The body was reacting to an environmental threat that the conscious mind insisted was not there. Think about the profound difference between your biology before and after modern lighting. Before the advent of modern indoor illumination, human eyes spent hundreds of thousands of years working under a full-spectrum, perfectly continuous bath of natural light. Your ciliary muscles could relax into distant horizons. Your brain's visual buffer was virtually idle, smoothly translating uninterrupted signals. Today, you spend hours under aggressive square-wave electrical pulses. The artificial LEDs in overhead panels and digital screens turn on and off with hard, abrupt edges. Your nervous system is constantly spending biological currency just to keep your vision steady, draining your neurotransmitters and leaving your physical body in a state of quiet, unearned exhaustion. Fortunately, once you understand the physics of your visual biology, you can take immediate, practical control over your light environment. Here are 3 precise, scientifically grounded strategies you can implement right away to shield your neural pathways from unnecessary strain. First, introduce continuous thermal light sources into your immediate workspace. Traditional incandescent bulbs and specialized zero-flicker halogen lights do not rely on high-frequency electronic switching. Instead, they produce light through thermal incandescence, heating a physical filament until it glows. Because the filament retains heat between electrical cycles, the light output is remarkably steady, continuous, and free of jagged stroboscopic pulses. Placing a simple incandescent or verified flicker-free direct current desk lamp beside your monitor dramatically reduces the contrast burden on your retinas, providing your primary visual cortex with a steady baseline of continuous photons. Second, recalibrate your ocular accommodation through biological resets. For every 20 minutes of sustained near-field visual work, intentionally shift your gaze to an object at least 20 feet away, or ideally out a window toward the horizon, for at least 20 uninterrupted seconds. As you look into the distance, your ciliary muscles completely unlock and lengthen from their contracted state. When you pair this with natural daylight, you flood your photoreceptors with steady, non-pulsing light waves, resetting your visual buffer and halting the subcortical stress signals traveling to your hypothalamus. Third, eliminate pulse width modulation dimming on your personal screens. Many modern laptops, tablets, and smartphones dim their screens not by lowering the actual voltage, but by increasing the duration of the dark intervals between pulses. When you drop your screen brightness to 50%, the display might flicker much more aggressively to create that darker appearance. To protect your eyes, keep your physical monitor hardware at high native brightness, and instead use dedicated software filters or ambient contrast adjustments to soften the glare. This prevents the display from dropping into its most disruptive, wide-gap flicker frequencies. When you step back and look at your daily life, your understanding of your own fatigue changes completely. You begin to realize that your eyes are not simple lenses that occasionally get tired. They are living extensions of your brain itself, heroically filtering, stabilizing, and buffering an unnatural synthetic world that modern technology built around you overnight. What light source is shining directly over your head right now? Take a second to like this video so you can easily pull up these biological principles whenever you need to optimize your daily workspace. Your body is constantly running these astonishing hidden biological processes, quietly adapting to modern environments in ways you are only just beginning to uncover. There is another equally remarkable invisible mechanism quietly altering your daily energy and cellular health that we are currently investigating. Subscribe to Body Decoded right now so you never miss a single step as we continue unlocking the real, untold science of what is happening inside your body every single day.